So realistically, let's be honest, absolutely not going to do this idea. But we need a field correspondent. Every great show's got a field correspondent, right? I'm going to throw down the gauntlet right now. $100K a year. Be the MFM Field Trip Correspondent. Film it like the old TechCrunch Cribs or MTV Cribs episodes. And email me, Sean@SeanPeru.com, and just email a audition tape. Do an episode of any business near you. Go to your coffee shop and just film it, just so that we can get a sense of how you are on camera.
You recording? Okay. It is currently really late. I don't have kids, and I'm broke, and I live in Canada, and I'm looking to escape. So this is my official MFM. What the fuck did they call it? MFM Field Trip Correspondent application. Fucking audition tape. We're gonna actually go and film an episode. I heard the podcast. It came out yesterday. I heard the podcast on the way home like 2 hours ago, and we set it up. And I called a friend, and he actually said yes. So we're on the way there right now. I bought some shawarma there in the back for him. And this is what I bring to the table, man. I'm resourceful. I'm quick. I act. And I'm broke. And I really need this job. So thank you. He told us to get here at 8:10. What time is it on this shit? What time is it? Oh, is this in Arabic? In Arabic. Fuck. Well, it's 8:10. We here. We here on time, baby. Hello, sir. This is for you. Thank you, sir.
Bro, what is this?
Dinner.
Bro.
Did you eat yet?
No, I haven't.
I know you didn't eat. I knew it. Okay. Yeah, for
no
sure.
need.
Nah, man, come on, bro.
Yeah, go
Alright,
for it.
guys, this is my boy, Faiz Tahir. I've known this guy my whole life since I was 8 years old. Our parents know each other from even before that. He now owns this beautiful brokerage in Oakville, Ontario, Canada. It's one of Ontario's top performing real estate groups, and Faiz has over a decade of experience. Guess his age, I'm about to tell you in a little bit. He has REMAX Chairman's Award for 3 consecutive years, so 2021, 2022, and 2023. And for context, 80% of real estate agents in Canada didn't even make one sale last year, so that's a huge accomplishment. Before that, he got a CPA with KPMG. He was doing 80-hour work weeks, and at the same time, he was planning for this brokerage. He's been planning for this for a really long time. So he got his broker's license, some mortgage license, all kinds of real estate shit. And at one point, he was working so hard, he had some kind of passed out or some fucking crazy shit like that. And guess what? He is only 26 years old. So guy has been doing this since 16 years old. 10 years of experience. It's crazy. Okay, Faiz, what did I miss in the intro? Be an asshole. Tell us all about your accomplishments. Go ahead and brag, bro.
All right, so I think you said 3 years. This would actually be the 5th year going on. Not just as chairman, but
you got 2024.
That's a solo award. As a team, we've done over $1 billion in sales. So that's just about over 100 sales a year that we do out of our office. So, I mean, I've been very fortunate. I'm part of the most dynamic group of individuals. We do just under, I want to say, $500 million in transactions a year as a group. There's 300 agents in our brokerage, and we have 4 offices actually.
Oh shit!
So Oakville's like the latest rendition of our offices, but we also have one in Vaughan, Markham, and Brampton as well.
I didn't even know that. So the grand opening we did was just the 4th.
This is just our 4th location.
That's fucking insane, dude.
Yeah,
okay,
but this is the one I sit out of. I grew up in Oakville. I grew up in Halton area, so this is the one that hits home the closest for me.
Okay, cool. So I want you to take. So obviously we got to this point now, but I want you to take the people through the journey of obviously you don't start at this point, right? So how did you get to this point? At what point did you see a turning point? And what do you think led you to this point? Because I feel like you're super different. We've been talking for a while. We just ate. This guy's different. He's just a different dude. He plans every second. I just want you to take them through it.
Yeah. So I think it's a continuous effort of self-improvement and then figuring out where you see yourself 2 years, 3 years, 5 years from now. And then I think it's just about shortening every goal and making the goalpost look closer than it really is. When your goals are more achievable, then you can actually work towards them. I think we all have very ambitious targets, but we don't have proper game plans on how we're actually going to achieve them.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that's the most important thing, continuously pushing yourself. And then it's a mindset thing, right? So everyone in our age group wants a flashy car, wants an easy life, wants to have their own business, but they don't really understand the sacrifice that it actually takes.
What time is it right now?
Right? So this is a normal day for me, 9 p.m. in the office. And
you get in at what time?
I get in at 8 every day if I don't have a meeting somewhere else. So I'm continuously putting in 12 hours a week. Weekends are also dedicated for my business. So I think that, yes, I probably missed out on some of my childhood and maybe some of my teenage years or early 20s. But to be honest with you, like I think I've probably skipped 10 years of my professional life in terms of career development and growth. Otherwise, what it would have taken.
Yeah.
So yeah,
my question is like, look, you're 26 and you've gotten to this point. Most people get to this point, let's say, in their mid 40s, right? So how, like, what do you think it was specifically? Like, if somebody was listening to this and they're like, okay, like, what could I have done going back if they're in their, mid 20s or like me, or like
yeah.
What do you think it was? Like, what was different? Like, do you think you just knew exactly what you wanted to do early on?
No, I don't think so. Like, I think you know this about me as well. I was studying to go into investment banking.
Yes.
I went to the University of Waterloo, one of the top finance programs, did my master's, did my CPA. There was nothing that I had in the back of my mind when I joined the family business that, I would take this forward and actually make a brokerage or, take it to, new heights and make it an 8-9 figure business. I think the reality is how it really kind of went down for me is I realized that I'm really, really good at sales. And I'm really, really good at understanding what someone needs and then actually helping them solve their problem.
Okay, so let's dive into that. Okay, so what made you understand you were good at sales?
Man,
at what point? What age?
Probably my early teens. My first business was actually selling OtterBox cases wholesale.
I didn't even know.
To if you remember those like phone cases that had like if you drop your phone.
I have one on.
Okay, so I was the only supplier that was distributing them to all the Bell, Fido stores at the age of 13. So I had an exclusive contract with a California exporter that was bringing OtterBox cases in.
So then, bro, we need to take it further back than that. Like, bro, like I'm trying to help. Like,
I was always a hustler. I'll be honest with you.
But what at what point you were like, okay, like bro, how do I explain this? Okay, it has to be a certain point in your life where you're like, I want to sell OtterBox cases. Like, what brings you to that point in your life? What do you think happened?
I think I always wanted financial freedom and independence. And I realized that in every aspect of life, you need to know how to sell, whether you're selling your service, which is your own time, or whether you're selling a product or you're selling a good. Everything in this life is sales, right? So the best people are always the guys in sales. You can't AI sales. You can't replace them. You can't teach someone how to do it. You're either good at it and you've learned how to present yourself really, really strong, or you don't, right? So I think it was always just putting myself out there in front. What was the motivation? I was always into, I think my biggest love was for cars. And I realized like I wouldn't be able to attain those things that I wanted without having extremely high disposable income.
So you saw like, okay, like this person has this dollar value, let's say $300,000 car.
Sure.
Most people make X amount of money. They would have to work this many years with no expenses to earn that car. How do I do that sooner? Was that part of what?
Yeah, no, but it was also financial freedom. So I never bought cars.
Yeah.
So I always bought cash flow properties.
Initially.
Well, even today, I just bought a 24-unit building. So I always bought buildings and properties or rental properties. I started with condos that allowed me to have enough cash flow and savings to then purchase the things that I actually want to spend on using my rental income.
Okay, so let's take it back. So you're in your first year, right?
Sure.
Of university. At what point in your first year of university decide? Because I remember when we were in Square One, we were having lunch and you were telling me about you wanted to like create a brokerage and.
I wanted to become a developer.
Yeah, this is a real ass thing, bro.
Yeah, that was before
Square One.
Yeah, I told you I want to become a real estate developer.
And this was what, like this was like your
second
year.
2000 and no, it was 2016.
No. Because I got here in 2017, so I think it was 2018.
Then it must have been 17 then. No, because it wasn't 18.
It wasn't my first semester.
So 17.
Because I came 2017.
It was 17. Yeah.
Okay, so that was like 7 years ago. So that's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. Like you might have thought like
I
you
didn't
feel
think
like
I
you
didn't think
had
much of it. Here's the thing: I would say a lot of things, but then I would write them down um, in a notebook, and every so often, every 6 months, I go back and look at what I wrote 10 years ago. And to be honest with you, I've done every single thing I've said I would do, and I've already written stuff that I'm going to do in the next 10 years.
yeah, we
Right?
saw that shit.
So I'll do it.
Yeah.
There's no reason why. I think it's about being focused and then just having a thing. But coming back to like attaining things, it was never about like doing it for someone else. I just wanted to have like freedom.
Okay, damn. So okay, now let's take it up to 2021, right? When you
Sure.
won your first chairman award, you were 23 years old. Is that right?
I was 22, yeah.
22, 23.
Yeah.
And you did $50 million of sales in year one.
50 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is my thing, right? And you specialize in like luxury homes.
Yeah, a fair share, but I did a lot of volume, I would say.
So okay, so this is what I'm saying. First of all, how are you being taken seriously by clients at 22 years old in your first year? Because if you sell luxury homes, I assume these people are much older, they're established.
Yeah. Everyone's
like
in there.
How did you like go up to people who I presumably are much older, 40s, 50s, 60s?
Firstly, there was no indication that I was in my early 20s.
How?
Because of how I carried myself. There was no a way that they would even know that I would be in my early 20s. Even right now, I think people mistake me for a 35-year-old. Right? So maybe I don't look like the part, but when I speak and when I carry myself, they know that this person is probably not at that caliber, so they don't firstly assume that. Secondly, I always had a good network, so I realized like you got to be around people that have their life well put together, and you're gonna get more opportunities being in that circle. So most of my professional circles, or even when I played golf or when I played tennis or any other sport that I played, I was always around older crowds that had money. Right? So even my dad always would connect me with his buddies, and they were all older people. Some of them were partners in firms, some of them were like surgeons, well-renowned professionals in every aspect of their fields, and they were through all walks of life. Yeah. So I learned exactly what every business has and doesn't have, and how to succeed and how to fail, basically, through their stories and through their challenges. And I think that I was kind of lucky because I was never afraid to talk to a CEO of a company and tell him off, right? So there was always, just be honest, yeah.
Bro, as a podcast listener, like people who are gonna listen to this, they're gonna like a lot of people who listen to other successful people talk, they make excuses like, okay, this person probably got lucky in this way or whatever, right? So let's be honest about that. Like, what was your unfair advantage? Because there's one thing be having an unfair advantage, and it's another thing actually taking advantage of it, right?
Yeah.
So what was your unfair advantage, and how did you make sure? Because bro, like I feel like there's a lot of people that have a family business to take on, or that are able to build that network early, but they don't do anything with it. So what made you do that? What was your unfair advantage?
So obviously, look, like it's very simple. You can only get so far if you're reinventing the wheel at every stage of your life, right? So I took with where my family business was, and by the way, like they have a group of companies, so I only really focused on what I loved. I always knew I was passionate about real estate, so I took what I loved, and I basically completely ran the business how I saw it should be run.
And you took it,
and I took the reins, and I probably have gone 10x since I've taken it. So yeah, I think you could say the unfair advantage was the fact that I had a starting ground. But to actually take the torch and then run is not something that everyone can do.
That's what I'm trying to tell people is like everybody has an unfair advantage. It's about how you 10x that, and if you have it in you to 10x that.
Not everyone is interested. Like
So I think that Faiz definitely does. Okay, cool. So we had a conversation. I was in the car. I've been feeling super lost in my own life and had a conversation with you. And the thing that stuck with me, bro, is that you told me two main things. One is to plan better because I'm not thinking enough about exactly what I'm doing. And then the second thing was to get a mentor. So I want you to tell them your examples of how you did that.
Yeah, I think if you're not planning what you're doing in your life 5, 10, 15 years from now, that's okay because your plans will change. The important part is having a sense of direction or having your goals laid out and foundation properly, right? So I always had 2 to 3 mentors, not one. I had 2 to 3 mentors that had actually succeeded in what they set out to achieve in life.
And what you wanted to do.
And not necessarily what I wanted to do. One of my mentors was a partner of the top 10 largest accounting firm in the world.
Okay.
My other mentor was in my profession, what I wanted to do. And now he's my business partner. And my third mentor was actually my father. The way that relationship worked and that dynamic worked was not always the healthiest, though. I'll be honest with you. It's not easy working with family. But there was not a single time where I felt like I worked more than anyone else because I had someone working more than me.
Oh, that's big.
And that was always a point of defeat for me.
Yeah.
That it doesn't matter how much I work, there's literally someone else doing better than me.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I always kept myself grounded. I still pretty much do with the same approach. Why people love to work with me and why people love to join my brokerage is it's open door policy. The way that I give advice and the way that I allow people to learn from me is, I would say, pretty unorthodox in the approach. Like, not everyone wants to share their trade secrets or be open on how to be successful. But I'm not worried about letting other people around me grow because I'm confident in the fact that I'm probably working twice or three times as hard. I'm outworking them. So it doesn't necessarily matter if they know exactly how I did something.
You can take that call.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's fine. The calls keep coming.
Yeah, that's the thing. Whenever we're hanging out, he takes calls. Genuinely, you can take that call.
No, it's okay.
Okay, cool.
See who it is.
Yeah.
I'll take it after.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So a couple things, right? You said you're willing to give away your trade secrets. I'm gonna ask you these questions. You can refuse, and that's completely okay.
Sure.
Okay. How leveraged are you right
now? I have $11 million in debt, and I have assets that are probably worth just under 30 million.
Okay.
So leverage is what's allowed me to grow.
Yes.
Without leverage, you can't work without margins in real estate. That's part of it.
So it's interesting. Earlier, you would think that Faiz, because he's such a big planner, he might be risk averse, but no. Like, I think one thing I've noticed about you is that there's a really fine balance between risk that you take, which we also talked about on that call when I was feeling lost, is that you plan when you take very, very, very calculated fucking risks.
Yeah, but shit still hits the fan, and now you're dealt with it. I just lost $2 million this year on a project.
Yeah.
The saving grace was that my buy-in was so low that I was able to basically wipe it clean. Now, I planned. You did everything you could do in terms of risk tolerance, but you can only go so far with risk management. Yeah. If you don't take risks, you're simply not going to be making any money. I think that's the important part. It's balancing the risk and the reward, and going for it.
Okay, cool. Do you mind if we walk around?
Yeah,
and
sure.
Show people the office as we talk.
Yeah.
All right, cool. You want to lead the way?
Yeah. So.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep asking you questions.
Sure.
And then just interrupt me whenever you want to talk about something in the office. Because actually, you know what, bro? I want to start with that.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the design of the office.
Yeah.
And kind of just inspiration. Who did it? I know you did it, but.
So we have one of our sister companies in our group that actually imports glass, all this material. This is all from Italy. There's one piece got shipped from Italy, and super high end. Some of the biggest offices in Cupertino, in San Fran, Los Angeles, New York, they all use this glass.
Yeah.
So we have exclusive distribution rights for this glass for all of Canada and North America. So I thought, if it's going to be my own office, it should feel like it's my own office. So that was the whole design. I wanted it to have a nice open hallway. We got a reception area, just TV up to showcase what's going on today. Sitting area, you're obviously coming after hours, so you're going to get a different feel for it. This is actually my space. Unorthodox to let the boss sit in the front, but I just like.
But that's part of the open door policy.
Well, that's what it is. I don't even have the biggest room in the office.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be a very different feel. It's another room we got.
Let's talk about this. Wait, come here.
Yeah.
That right there was in his room. Let's talk about that. So why did you put it in your dad's office? So,
I think it's visible from there. That was the main reason. But the real reason is, I think, that's an inspirational piece. I got that as a gift from someone. and it's actually a Rolex piece, by the way. Yeah. So I don't know. I just felt like it was the right spot for it.
Yeah.
I think right now the office is a little bit bland. We just opened. I got to get more artwork in here.
Yeah, he just did the
Yeah.
graphic.
So but we're working on some stuff. I'm doing a custom piece for the boardroom. So this is really where I was going to say the magic happens, but where all the meetings happen. And we use this back wall for presentations and whatnot. And I actually have a Zoom camera in there as well. But that wall, I'm thinking about getting some custom artwork, just something to represent what we're about.
How many employees do you have?
Actual employees, just under 10. In terms of agents, we're, like I said, as a group, we're just under 300. Out of this office, we are shy of 50 that work out of this office. Yeah, so this is just another agent room that we have available. This room's locked. Actually, I have a lawyer who sits out of here.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about these, bro. This is the thing, man. This shit is really from his room, like these 3 posters. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about your love for Kobe, bro.
Oh, man. Yeah, I honestly think work ethic came from a lot from what I saw, my idol do. Honestly, you can't beat hard work. Honestly, like there's no recipe for beating it.
He was the hardest working.
100%. I would say he had the most average build in the NBA.
Yeah.
But he did some of the most abnormal things if you think about it. But yeah, this is actually official. That flooring where the championship is, that's actually broken down tile from the actual championship. So this is official memorabilia, and then these are just posters for my biggest idols. Yeah.
So over here, like obviously this is a physical space, right?
Yeah.
With AI and tech and stuff changing the game, like how do you think you want to keep going or no?
No. There's a kitchen. That's where we food and I actually installed a shower in my office because I work here so late, and sometimes I want to go to the gym.
That's crazy. Yeah,
so I do have a shower in there as well. But.
Cool. What do you think is impacting like how do you think it's going to impact real estate?
It's a good question. I feel like it'll enable agents. We're already doing it right now, by the way. Yeah. We have our own CRM.
Yeah.
That uses AI to respond to clients.
Yeah.
And I also have we have AI integration in terms of our search filters and all that other stuff. I think AI is enabling us to use our tools properly. Do I think AI is going to start selling homes? No, because there's an interpersonal relationship part of any transaction, which even if, let's say, a client wants to work with me and I sometimes refer them out to another agent,
it's another call.
They sometimes don't want to work with that person because there's that relationship.
Yeah.
So that's something.
A lot of money.
That's something in technology is not going to really, unfortunately, be able to replace it. I've seen time after time there are business models where people have come out where it's kind of like almost like a technology where you skip the agent and you buy the home, and they have geometrics and they have all this data. Guess what? All those companies have been struggling, failing, because really what someone's paying you money for is not just to open a door lock for you. It's to do all the other aspects of the transaction, do your due diligence, figure out if it's the right move for you, do financial planning.
So they open the door for them and then they got to walk through their own, do the walkthrough themselves?
This is the whole model in the US that they've started, and it's failing. The reason why it's failing is that's not why someone pays an agent in the first place. Yeah. The reason why people hire people in this profession is to get proper advice, right? So, and that's kind of what has helped us grow so quickly, because we just are, I would say, very forward and open in our conversations.
Yeah, making relationships and stuff. If someone wanted to make their first million in real estate, how would you advise them to do it in this economy? I know it's a tough question.
In sales or in what aspect?
Just if in any aspect of real estate, because you know real estate.
Yeah. So the first million in real estate. Firstly, how much money do I have to start with? Because look, the only way to grow in real estate is to have consistent cash flow that allows you to then invest in real estate.
Okay.
Right. So once you have capital, then you can do what I did, which is refinance, do value additions. I would buy a building, let's say for $3 million. It's in horrible shape. I would spend $600,000-$700,000 on that building, get a valuation of, let's say, $5 million, and take all my capital out.
But let's say this person wants to make their first million. Let's say they just got their first job, they just graduated from university.
Start small. Like literally, you can buy a condo in $400,000 or $500,000 these days.
And then put down a deposit.
Put down a deposit, buy something, rent it out, start cash flowing, understand how real estate works. Before you jump into what I'm buying, You should learn how to walk before you can run. Right?
Yeah. So you have them buy real estate. Let's take them through real steps. Get some free cash flow.
Yeah, learn how to save. I think saving is the first step.
Okay.
Then you obviously have all these incentives in Canada, for example, for first-time home buyers. Leverage the saving plans, your first-time home buyer accounts, your RSPs, your TFSAs. Learn how to save money. And when you have a suitable down payment, then pull the trigger. So I didn't buy my first home to live in. I always bought investment property because the mortgage was always being repaid by the tenants, and I was always cash flowing. The last few years we've had super high interest rates, but now the tables are turning. The interest rates are going to come down to pretty much record level lows again, likely, with what's going on in the U.S. and tariffs and whatnot. So I do believe that properties are going to start getting closer to cash flow, if not they're already cash flowing, depending on what you're buying.
Yeah.
And that should be enough for someone to get started. But massive real estate growth, like I built a almost $30 million portfolio, does not happen unless you're making seven figures a year. Yeah, this is my personal portfolio. So that's not going to happen unless you're making 7 figures a year, because you need to keep feeding the beast, right? It's very simple. Unless you have money to spend, you're not going to be able to invest.
Yeah.
Right? It's the same thing. How do I build a $100 million stock portfolio?
Yeah,
you need to buy good stocks, but you also need to have enough income to keep buying.
Yeah.
So the trick is I never sold. I always refinanced, leveraged, and then did value additions. So on a balance sheet level, my leverage is not that high, actually. It's only $11 million.
Let's get to some of the fun stuff, okay? What's been your stupidest purchase so far? Faiz is a big spender. That's why he wanted to make money in the first place, like we talked about earlier. What's been your stupidest purchase so far? And then what's been your biggest purchase so far?
Stupidest purchase. Fuck.
Guys, like, I don't fucking know too many.
Yeah, I don't think any purchase is stupid. Like I would say, like I've definitely bought a few dumb things.
Yeah.
Like I got this really, really nice Giorgio Armani custom tuxedo, which was around $11,000.
Tell them about it, dog. Tell them.
And I do waste money on watches. So I'm big suits and watches and cars. So
all the shit.
All things that are nice.
Shit. Yeah, maybe. Shit. Okay.
So, but I don't consider any of the purchase stupid, because I always feel like I don't spend money on things I don't like.
Yeah.
But then when I like something, I splurge, right? So,
okay, sick. What's been like a bad hiring experience?
There's been many. I think. Look, you get across people that think they can basically, pull their weight, and they talk a big game. But then when it really comes down to putting in grit and, really getting your feet wet, they want things handed to them. So this is not a profession for someone that wants a 9-to-5. Yeah. This is not a 9-to-5. This is not a job. Yeah. There's no guarantee that you're going to make money tomorrow. Okay? Just like any other business, this is a business of businesses, right? So you literally have to plan for this business. I would say people should not jump in unless they have savings. They have feet that they can stand on. And I'm not just talking about real estate as a sales business. I'm even just talking about real estate as an investment business, right? So to be a developer, for example, I still am not where I need to be as a developer. I already have 2 projects under development right now, but to me, I'm not at the level where I want to be.
Guys, one common theme you're going to notice throughout this whole thing is that this motherfucker is never satisfied, bro. Like, he always thinks there's another hour he can do. He always thinks there's another building he can buy. There's always one more thing to do. And I've noticed that commonality amongst everybody who's like his insane, successful personality. Okay, another fun question. You probably think, oh, like Faiz works all these crazy hours. He has to be single. This motherfucker's engaged. He's getting married this August.
Yeah.
Congratulations, sir.
I appreciate it.
Congratulations. So, yeah, man, let's go into that. Like, obviously, what time is it, dog? It's fucking 9:30. He got here at like 8. So how do you manage everything? Like how long have you been together? Have you been building this during that growth phase? Let's go into all that.
Yeah, I don't think every type A personality can work with every single individual. I think you need to be lucky in finding a partner that will understand what your ambitions are, and then try to I wouldn't say work around them, but make them part of their life as well. Right? So I was super lucky when I met my fiance, and to be honest with you, man, like I think no one should jump into something unless they find someone that actually respects what their goals are. Because if you ever feel like this person is going to be a roadblock or an issue for you, it's not the relationship for you.
Yeah.
So I learned that my parents have always worked together. My parents are both in business together. My mom's a corporate lawyer. My dad's obviously an entrepreneur. Let's call it for what it is. But they've always done business together. They've always supported each other. So I always knew from a younger age that, okay, if I want to marry someone, it has to be someone that can support me in my vision, not pull me down. So I'm showing up late. I've never got an attitude from her, right? And no, it's true. I've seen it. Like people get upset. Oh, what is he doing all night long? I'm working. Right.
Yeah.
So
she knows that. She trusts you.
There's nothing else that I can possibly be doing.
Yeah.
And there's nothing else that I want to be doing.
Yeah.
Other than maybe spending time or doing stuff like that. My weekends are still busy, but then I do have 4 or 5 hour windows where everything's off.
Yeah.
And it's just friends and family time.
With your phone ringing like constantly, if you're with her, how does that go? Like, are you?
If we're in the car, I'll pick up the phone.
Okay.
Right, like we're commuting.
Yeah.
If I'm at the dinner table, then no.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I don't.
That's true. Contextually. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it depends on where you are and what the, if it's our anniversary or I'm going out to a birthday dinner, then I'm definitely not picking up the phone even in the car.
Yeah.
Right. So I've learned to respect that.
Yeah. Obviously, in recent times, Faiz has gotten a PA, so that helps with certain admin things.
Yeah, but honestly, my work has gotten busier.
That's what I'm saying. So I was going to say, like, obviously, managing the relationship has always been tough. I guess in the beginning, my question was like, when you're first getting things off the ground, you got to put in a ton of hours and you don't really have a lot of help. It's just you and you're exchanging time for potential success. What role did she play at that point? How did she feel about it?
She actually helped me a lot. I'll be honest with you. Like, there was unwarranted support that she didn't need to do in terms of actually, like, for example, helping me with my social media or helping me with some of my marketing stuff or getting me connected with the right media people, because she has a background in marketing. So she never asked me if she could help. She just helped. Right? I think that's basically the quality of someone that you want to be with if you're going to be spending your life with someone.
Awesome.
So I think that I was lucky in that front, right? So
one thing I was noticed with Faiz and his fiance is that, bro, like, you guys complement each other very well. Like before, when we were eating before, Faiz showed us the schedule that she sent to his PA of all the tasks they're gonna do when they get married, like organizing things, and like their initial was beside it, dude. Like, and that's exactly the type of person this guy is, dude. Like, he just organizes everything really, really well. And I'm glad that she's on board with you about that, man. It's really cool to see, bro. It's really cool to see.
I appreciate it, man.
All right. I don't know. Is there anything else you want to add, man? You want to plug some shit?
No, I guess I want to ask, like, what motivated you to do this podcast?
Bro, I haven't even done this podcast. Basically, I'm on my way home from work today. I'm listening to the MFM podcast. They want a field. Fuck, I still forgot what it's called. They want an MFM Field Coordinator or something like that, where they want people to go to cool entrepreneurs, see their offices and shit. Basically, do like a MTV Cribs for entrepreneurs. And I literally, this was like 3 hours ago.
Yeah, you called me.
Bro, yeah.
I had 2 missed calls, and then he's like, "Oh, I need your help." I thought this guy was locked up or some shit. So then I called you back, but you wanted me to do a podcast. I said, "Okay, no worries."
Dude, it's amazing. Like, I've always been able to count on Faiz, man. Like, dude, I literally called you 3 hours ago. He said yes. He's busy as shit. He still said yes. So, man, it's like, you got to understand, bro. Like, I think people like Faiz, they're successful in all aspects of their life. I'm going to say, mashallah, I don't care, bro. Like, we're talking about love. We're talking about work. We're talking about they're maintaining their friendships. Everything is because I feel like people like you are always striving to be better in every aspect of your life. Right?
We try.
Actually, one last question. What is something right now in your life that you're struggling with that you want to improve?
I was going to say work-life balance, but I would say my health and fitness for sure has taken a dip. In between, I tried hiring a personal trainer. Worked really, really well for a little bit. But I was someone that was super fit growing up.
This guy was yoked. Don't say super fit. Guy looked like a Greek god, dog. Like abs, everything.
So I think like falling off from that to like basically just not giving a shit.
Yeah.
It's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah.
But I think that's probably the main thing I would work on.
Yeah.
Like, I think everything else in life you can buy back. You can't buy back your health. Right? So that's probably the 2025, maybe the next 30 years goal that I have.
Yes, sir. That's a perfect place to leave that off. We're gonna end it right there. All right, yo. I mean, if you're not hiring me after this, I don't know what the fuck to tell you guys, man. I'm gonna be honest.
You gotta hire this guy.
Thank
Honestly,
you,
this is one of the hardest working persons and the most humble guy I fucking know.
Thank you, bro.
No.
Yeah,
Awesome, I
hopefully go
appreciate it.
somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
All right, man.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it, brother.